What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. This is the 1 month review, finally, of the Phantom GX2 Elite in firm ground. I'm also wearing the AG model as well, so this will be the 1 month review for both models. Both of it performed exceptionally well. Let's hop straight into the sole plate. Now, the sole plate for me is one of the contention points with the Phantom GX2, especially in the FG model. Nowadays, with boots being able to kind of go hybrid between FG and AG models not being as readily available, even though most of the pitches, like you see behind me, are AG. Unfortunately, boot manufacturers need to, I think, go a little bit more hybrid studs as opposed to purely FG, which this obviously does. We'll talk about responsiveness and performance in a little bit, but for me, this is just way too aggressive for a boot that's supposed to be mass market, if you will. This is one that I think has so much potential, and the previous generations of Phantoms have done such a good job of being kind of suitable for AG and FG pitches with the widely available FG model. But for me, the sole plate is a little lackluster. It's really aggressive for any pitch, essentially, other than sort of a softer firm ground pitch. And so for me, this gets a 5 out of 10. The heel area on the GX2 is one of my favorite heels on the market. I think it does an absolutely fantastic job of wrapping most foot shapes. What they did, obviously, with the previous generation Phantom GX1 is they made a little cutout here in the heel area so that all you really have are supports on the lateral and medial sides of that heel area, creating a much more neutral shape in that heel along your Achilles tendon, allowing for a lot of mobility and a bit of less structure here through this heel. Add that with a perforated suede heel liner plus a lot of padding. I have had absolutely zero issues, and frankly, all of the comments that I see about the heel area are all praise. I have not heard very many people have blister issues with these, and they've really done a nice job compared to previous generations like the GT with this heel area, and really gone back to what has worked with Phantom GX1, and of course way back when with like Hypervenom Phantom 3 and stuff like that. So overall, fantastic heel area. For me, no complaints. This is an 8.5 out of 10. Of course, the main feature of the Phantom GX2 is, of course, this upper. Now, I'm sort of wrapping in Luna 2, Phantom GX2, all in sort of one video, simply because they're basically the same boot. This upper is incredible. It really is incredible. And if you're gonna go for a knit-based football boot, especially one that's got this little bit of grip texturing on it with the grip knit upper, it's a one-piece upper as well, so you're gonna get a really nice and close touch with the ball. That is nothing I can complain about, really. It is incredible. It's one of my favorite uppers ever to come out from Nike, and in my opinion, this is a 9 out of 10 upper. Lockdown for Phantom GX2 is pretty average, I would say, because it's a one-piece upper and it doesn't include anything like flywire cables or any sort of dedicated lateral stability elements. It really, I wouldn't say it suffers, but because of that one-piece construction, you don't get as close of a wrap around your foot as the previous generation GX1. The GX1, because it's a 2-layer upper, really had quite a bit of lateral stability. This one, not as much. It's a little more accommodating for wide foot shapes as well, and so the lockdown suffers a little bit. It still is really good once you get the laces tied tight, partially thanks to quite a deep lacing system on the more lateral leaning side of the boot. Really gets you into a nice and comfortable feel, but I wouldn't quite say it's excellent lockdown, and for that, it's gonna get a 7 out of 10. Break-in time for GX2 is absolutely fantastic. It goes on my list, impressively enough, of boots that I don't need any break-in time. This will get a perfect score of 9 out of 10 because this is amazing. It fits my foot almost perfectly straight out of the box. Zero break-in time, no issues with any sort of blistering or rubbing in the heel area, no hot spots in my usual lateral side right towards that heel as well, where I have kind of that wide bone that sticks out. And of course, the toe box is more voluminous than the previous generation GX1, and so it really allows my feet to just slip in perfectly, and I have zero complaints about break-in time. They are absolutely incredible. I was actually able to wear the AG pair into a match several months ago now, as my first wear, essentially. So that was incredible. 9 out of 10 for break-in time. Durability and build quality of the GX2 has actually been really impressive. For a one-piece knit upper, I kind of expect there to be a little bit more wear and tear compared to other styles of boots, especially on the synthetic end of things. Leather, especially on AG, tends to tear as well. But for a knit-based football boot, they've done an incredible job. I've worn these on FG quite a bit. They're really good for FG, and I've worn them as well for the playtest and some other training sessions on AG, as well as the AG model that I got from Cleats AU, and those have really responded super well. Similar to the GX1 that I had, the custom model with the black and the pink that I wore for Flower City last year, the AG models tend to perform really, really well and have quite a bit of durability compared to the FG models, at least on the AG surfaces. I don't know if that's a sole plate thing or whether they add anything extra to the boots. I don't think so, but overall, the GX line in general has been incredibly durable. Build quality has been awesome. I haven't seen any sort of yarns that have torn off or done anything, and I've been stepped on a couple times in these, particularly on the in the FG here in Australia, where guys are slipping around and stuff. You accidentally, you either get you get stamped on as on purpose, or you get kind of somebody slips into you, and the knit hasn't ripped. It's been absolutely fantastic. There's no separation of the upper, and so for me, this is a absolute fantastic value for money as far as durability and build quality goes. So this is gonna get an 8.5 out of 10. Okay, shape and fit is probably gonna be a pretty easy category for me to answer. As I said in the portion about break-in time, these are absolutely sensational for my foot shape. They fit quite a bit wider than the previous generation. Not overly wider, but definitely more available, I guess, for more foot shapes. This is a fantastic fitting football boot. I think they nailed the shape of this. It feels really nice, performs really well, and for me, shape and fit of this football boot gets a 9 out of 10. It's basically perfect for my foot. All right, competition for GX2 comes in, I think, 4 different models. You have the SKX, you have the Puma Future FTR7, you've got the Tequila, and then you've got the Predator. And all 4 are actually really, really good. I would say aside from the Puma Future is really comfortable, but I don't think it performs very well. And similar to this model, unfortunately, the sole plate, I just can't recommend. The heel area on that one is just not great. So let's assume kind of 3 main competitors, and that's Predator, Tequila, and SKX from Skechers. Now, I would say the most similar to these is probably either Tequila or SKX. SKX also has sort of pseudo grip elements as well, or texturing on the upper, so that's gonna get probably the closest comparison to this one. But I would say overall, at least for me and what I prefer, I'm gonna pick this one all day long. I think the heel area fits incredibly well. I think the grip knit upper is amazing. Now, some of you might be saying, well, in your recent comparison video for control boots, didn't you rank the Predator higher than this? Yes, as far as just what the product is. That being said, for my own foot shape, and if I'm gonna sort of blind test both of them on feet, the Predator fits a little bit more snug, I would say, but the GX just does what I want it to do. And again, football boots are all about personal preference, and for me, the GX2 is the top dog as far as the competitors go. To be fair though, Tequila and Predator and SKX I would wear no problem really any day of the week. All 3 are insane, super comfortable, very, very good products. So the whole category as like a control / power boot is really competitive, and you can't really go wrong with any of those options. But as I said, for me, GX2 is on top. All right, performance of the GX2 is really, really good. As I said before, it's maybe not the most locked in. Maybe it's a little bit more roomy than some other boots, but for me, this fits my foot absolutely perfectly. It is one of those boots I never have to break in, and I'm just super stoked. In fact, it's amazing to have a boot on the market that I know I can go in store or order a pair online in a size 9 US, and I know they're gonna fit, and I can wear them straight into a game if I wanted to, in case I needed an extra pair of football boots, which obviously I don't, but in the case that I do, it's really nice to know that I do have that option in case something went completely haywire. Now, for me, performance is, of course, a very important piece of picking a pair of football boots. Fit is the first thing, and then performance sort of wraps in what I like in a football boot or what you like in a football boot, and then some other performance characteristics about, heel lockdown, midfoot lockdown, toe box room, grip elements, all that stuff, things that are a total personal preference. So for me, the performance rating of these is gonna get an 8.5 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic. All right, guys, overall rating for the Phantom GX2. Now, you guys know this is probably one of my favorite boots in recent history from Nike. They are really comfortable. They're really good. This one-piece grip knit upper is so soft, so easy to break in. Now, a couple thoughts about the AG model versus the FG model. I know I commented a little bit before on how I prefer the AG model and the conical studs. Down here in Australia, because we sort of split time between AG and FG surfaces, depending on the league you're playing in, you're gonna play more on probably FG. I tend to prefer filming on AG just because it gives me a little bit more flexibility with consistency of surface and filming and all that stuff. So that's, fair enough for media side of things. But as you can see, well, I cleaned them off the other day, but I was wearing these 2 weekends ago now for a game with 1-0 FC, who I'm playing for. It's just kind of a local amateur squad. Really enjoying just like kicking about and having some fun, and wore these for that game and absolutely loved them. It's probably the 3rd or 4th game that I've worn these in, and I just maybe it's recency biased, but on an FG surface, this stud pattern actually performs pretty well. The reason it rated so lowly in this particular review is simply because I think, as I said, modern day football boots really need to kind of be that hybrid, especially as more and more countries have AG surfaces as opposed to trying to maintain an FG surface, whether that's a money thing or a I don't know, upkeep thing, or who knows. But the bottom line is that I think, in my opinion, top-end football boots need to be a little bit more neutral. These are really aggressive. They're amazing for FG surfaces, no problem at all. But I would highly recommend, if you do play on both or if you play on mostly AG, just get the AG model. It's really good. It performs exactly the same as these, and you get a little bit more of a neutral sole plate. So for me, the overall performance rating of the GX2 is gonna get an 8.5 out of 10. It is top. It's one of my favorite boots to wear. It's so comfortable, and I highly recommend you try a pair for yourself. Hope you guys enjoyed that 1-month review. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you guys are interested in a pair of GX2s and you are in Australia, I will leave a link down below for Ultra Football. That's who I work with quite a bit down here, and you guys can pick up a pair for yourself in some really, really cool colorways. Let me know down in the comment section below as well, what color of GX2 is your favorite? I think the Holland edition is my favorite so far. I think they just look incredible. Or the Barcelona colorway, and that obviously doesn't include my custom color that I did a review on a while ago. But yeah, excellent football boots, highly recommend. As always, be awesome, take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.